Greetings, YouTube. Fishsuit here, your favorite Twitch/YouTube DM. Even if I'm not, I'm still going to say that every single time. Welcome to episode 6 of our Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign, which we live stream here on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/fishsuit, every other Monday. And this Monday is no different. We're back here with episode 6. I am really excited to play this week. Last session can be summed up as taking a bunch of quests. And so now it's going to be up to our characters to decide what they're going to do next here in Icewind Dale. As always, if you enjoy these episodes that you're watching on YouTube, you can watch them live on Twitch every other Monday, twitch.tv/fishsuit. Appreciate the subscriptions on YouTube, the follows on Twitch, and if you want to catch up with the story, we have a live podcast that we stream every other Sunday, which goes over the story in both of our live stream sessions called Unconscious and Dying. We've done 4 episodes of it, my buddy Vlor and I, who you'll see in this episode. And so I hope that you guys enjoy the show, and without further ado, let's get it started. Let's play some D&D. Alrighty. So when we last left, well, first of all, hello everybody.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hi.
Ooh, Sunflower, thank you so much for the 11 months. Go ahead and roll. You know, Sunflower, I don't know if you saw, but Zune gave you an extra 1 on any one of your rolls tonight. So
Ooh.
you have an extra 1, and now you get to roll a d4, and you get to give that to anybody you want, including yourself. If you want to give yourself a little extra roll. Or maybe you could return the favor. Depends on what it is, I imagine. If it's a 4, go ahead and keep it. You know what I mean?
Just roll 1d20.
No, it's a 1d4.
4.
And roll.
Good try. Wow.
Gotta love
I
Sunflower.
forgot.
Sunflower's like,
Been a
it's a D300 fish soup. Hey, there you go.
I'm gonna keep it.
All right. So you got an extra 4 that you can use tonight.
I'll make it up to you in another way soon.
roll.
I meant in the game.
Is it hot in here?
In the game. Let's go to Dugan's hole first, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Let's see what's going on in that hole first before we. Well, I am very grateful to spend this Monday with you, my friends. And if anybody, as I said in the intros, if anybody has missed any part of our campaign so far, you can catch up by listening to or watching our video podcast, Vlor and my video podcast, Unconscious and Dying.
He says the thing.
I said the thing. I say the thing
Yeah.
every time, pretty much.
Yeah.
I have to, Vlor, because it's the title of the show.
Yeah.
People would be really confused if I didn't. All the people, the thousands of people that are watching that, I just want to make sure, you know. But as we talked about in that, and as we saw during the last session, basically the last session can be summed up as clicking on a bunch of golden question marks and taking a bunch of quests, because you guys have a lot of open threads now to what you would like to do. You just got back to Bryn Shander, you turned in your sled filled with iron ingots, you were compensated, and then you got various little tiny thread pieces of information. And so just quickly, I'm going to go over all of those, not only for the benefit of our audience, but for the benefit of you guys, just so that everybody's really fully aware of your breadth of options here. And there's quite a few. The first, I think, and foremost is this looming fortress out on Kelvin's Cairn. You guys chipped off the very tip of the iceberg here. You know that there's some dark dwarves, the Dwergar outpost out there. So that is out there. Basically, you came back in here, told everybody about it, and nobody knows anything about it. And to the point where some of the like the dwarves were like very stubborn and like that. There's no way. There's no way that the Dwergar are within 30 miles of our home. No way. You know that in the town of Targos, there is an expedition that's going to be leaving for Kelvin's Cairn in a few days, or they're gathering for an expedition. And so that was something that you guys had considered. Maybe we can be part of this expedition. We'll have some more men when we go up to Kelvin's Cairn, when we try to explore and see what's going on with this fortress. You know that there's been a series of thefts in I want to say Caer Konig. You guys had kind of already known, you had found out about that, but also you had this sled filled with ingots, and you're like, we got to get this out of here. We can't be loaded down with the sled forever. While you were hanging out at the Northlook in Bryn Shander, Kindar overheard some talk about a guy he felt he was lucky to have gotten out of Dugan's Hole. You know, once you go whole, you never. I couldn't think of anything quickly to rhyme with that. Yeah, because there was these huge winter wolves that were like basically not allowing townspeople to leave, stealing the catch, the daily catch, and things like that. And so he had made it to Bryn Shander. He was really happy that he was able to make it out. So Kindar overheard that at a bar. Am I missing anything? Was there any other? The Chwingas, yeah. So, you were
Danica Greysteel.
Danica Greysteel caught you guys and said, "You guys, I think I might have some ideas of how to end this, endless winter. But I need to study one of these little elemental creatures, the Chwingas." And she gave you a special lantern, which is going to light up if you're basically in a town where there are Chwingas. So that's where we left off last time. You guys were heavily leaning towards the hole. Is it just because you want a t-shirt that says I went to Dugan's Hole and all I got was this crappy t-shirt? That'd be amazing. I think that Dugan's Hole is one of those places.
Like 20 gold for that.
I think that Dugan's Hole is one of these places that just makes money off their merchandise, right? They don't really do anything else. There's a place.
Once I get there.
There's a place here in Fort Myers locally that's called Masturbate and Tackle.
Yeah.
And I swear that they just sell more shirts and hats than actual. It is. I mean, they do sell like fishing bait and stuff, but mostly it's just shirts and hats, I think. But I think you guys are leaning heavily towards Dugan's Hole. You had basically left off in the Northlook where Jordy had secured you some free room and board because he knew the bartender and they were old pals. So I'm going to turn it away to you guys as to what you'd like to do next.
Is there a bar here?
Yes, you guys are at the bar. You're at the Northlook in Bryn Shander, which is all the way up here.
So is this the evening, the same evening? And we're going to be taking a rest, or is it the morning after the rest?
It is, let's call it the morning after, because you guys had done quite a bit on that day. Most of that day was filled with travel, and then you turned in the cart to the Black Iron Blades. You had met the proprietor there, who I don't know, there's a block in my head that I'm never going to remember this guy's name. But it's a dwarf there, and you turned in the ingots to the shield dwarves that were there, and then you went back to the Northlook. So you just spent the night. It is now morning.
Yeah, I think Danica turned up during breakfast because GH kept asking her to get her coffee.
That's right. That's right.
Like 3 times she asked me to grab her coffee.
Do I still have coffee? Can it be a little bit stronger? Can I get some alcohol in this coffee?
I think Danica was just plying you with coffee to try to get you to take her quest.
Suck.
With the lantern because he's the pack mule of the group.
Yeah, poor Jordy.
Aren't you holding this on your nipples? Didn't we clamp that there?
I'm not sure if that was canon, but if it was,
like braid his beard around it.
Or on the beard, yeah, the beard would work.
Were there a lot of people in the bar?
Yeah, there's like people that had been staying there basically have come down for breakfast at this point. There's maybe I would say around 10 people or so. It's a fairly large, like, common room.
They all seem pretty sober.
Yeah, or like a nursing hangover, like slowly nursing their morning coffee, right? I mean, you are like essentially at a bar/inn, so people probably got a little hammered, went up to their room, and they're just coming down for the morning.
For sure. So you guys think that we should take this quest, or?
Seems like a quest that we could do while we're doing everything else.
You don't think it sounds like suspicious that she's just like, here, take this lantern, and like, wait, is she still here?
She's like, excuse me, what did you say to me? Yeah, I think that basically she was like, listen, I'm going to leave this lantern with you. I would really like this. Please, if you can get a Chwinga, please don't hurt them. And you guys had tried to talk her into leaving with you or accompanying you, and she was like, "No, I'm not leaving Bryn Shander. If it comes down to leaving Bryn Shander or leaving Icewind Dale, I'll leave Icewind Dale. I'm not an adventurer." So, yeah, she left you with the lantern, but she's no longer there.
And we like insight checked her.
Yes. I think Floor did. Got like a 20 or something.
I feel like she was legit. But at least the lamp wasn't the one that was stolen from the hook, line and sinker.
Nope.
The Northern Light.
Right.
The Northern Light. Yep.
Northern Light. Okay.
That was the bar. The drinking
Okay.
contest.
I want to try to convince
Same
her to
town.
give us gold for this venture. If we're also, I don't want just a lantern. I want a little bit more. How do I know that you just don't have anything?
I think that she did offer you payment
Afterward.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
So she's not there anymore. But she did offer you 25 gold pieces, and she said that no matter what, you get to keep the lantern that you have. And the lantern is magical. It is a lantern of tracking. Here, I'll show this to you guys so you know what it is. There you go. That should all pop up on your screens now, the lantern of tracking. And this one is set to track elementals.
Why does she just want to give us this lantern? It just seems so sketchy. And she's not there anymore. Okay,
Right.
well.
She did say she just bought it at a shop, and
Yeah,
she planning on, if she planned on just doing, if this was all that she was set out to do and this was what her research was for, then kind of stands to reason that, you know, she would have bought it to try to track these things down and then has no use for it after.
All right.
Yeah, I believe she said that she bought it in Luskin. She basically said that she'll check in with the Northlook from time to time to make sure that you guys are there, or leave a message for where you can find her if she's not going to be checking in. So basically you can you feel confident that if you return to Bryn Shander and return to this Northlook, which has kind of been your base, you'd be able to find her if you do in fact get a chwinga.
So we have the lantern right now.
You do, yes. The lantern of tracking is a wondrous item.
And I'm sure it's worth a pretty penny.
It is.
And you know what, guys? I am so good at safekeeping. I think that I should just keep it in my bag.
Oh, I think Jordy already has it attached to his beard.
Beard?
I think, yeah, that's what we said earlier. It was
that way.
Beard.
That way, it's quite visible to everyone.
And no one's going to try to take it from Jordy.
All right. The safest place, your beard.
Right on his beard.
Back the beard.
Right here.
I mean, a dwarf's beard, I've heard, is quite precious.
Quite coarse as well.
Like steel wool.
It's actually stronger than all of Dugan's Hole.
Well, the more people that go into Dugan's Hole, the weaker it gets. Let's be honest.
Just wait until his beard gets in Dugan's Hole.
Oh, is there like a shop that I could, because I know like Jordy bought clothes before and like winter wear. That's something that I was intrigued in for like a backup, because I don't trust clothes now.
Yeah, I can't quite remember where did you buy your extra set of winter clothes, Jordy? Do you remember?
I believe it was the Smith's place while we were talking to
That's
the
right.
Shield
That's right.
Dwarves.
Yeah, so you can definitely stop back in there, Cleo, if you wanted. And it's 10 gold, but you get a 10% discount as well there permanently on stuff. So it'd be 9 gold if you wanted to buy it from the Black Iron Blades.
10 gold. Can I try to like flirt with him a little bit to get even more of a discount?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me. So you want to head to? Give me an idea of what you'd like to do after this, and then I'll get this going. So if you guys want to discuss that,
cool. What do you guys want to do?
I think this would be a good opportunity to make side trips on the way out of town, heading to Dugan's Hole. There's something else that I'd like to do as well. but this would give us the option because we're going south and then east based on the map that we're on, I believe.
Yes, southeast, Dugan's Hole and Good Mead. You'd have to pass through Good Mead to get to Dugan's Hole, but they're both down there, yeah.
So I think that I think this would be a great opportunity for us to do stuff while we're leaving the town.
Yeah, we can stop and get clothes. We can do whatever sketch little side venture you need to go do. And then we can.
Sketch.
Is there like a potion shop or something, or some kind of something like that that I can go to?
Nope, already checked on that.
Yeah,
Damn.
there's nothing here. This is like pretty much like, even though this is a fairly large walled city, it's sort of a frontier town more than anything else.
Okay.
Alrighty. So you wanted to head over to. Sorry, I'm having trouble finding. Sometimes this stuff just does not pull up for me. It's so frustrating. Let me see if I can do it one other way, and I might have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reload this. Sometimes the thing for Bryn Shander just does not load for me, so I'm gonna have to reload this all. I feel like it's like, no, you have too many things open, fish suit. No, sir. Too much stuff open. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna have to do this, and then just reload the whole thing, which is really silly. Thanks a lot, Roll20. It's the best thing there is for this, basically, I think, but man, sometimes it just fails. This is one of those times where I went to pull up something in Bryn Shander and it just won't. Alrighty. So
this reload session brought to you by Negamir's Dice Rolling System.
Negamir's Dice Rolling System. Alrighty, Black Iron Blades. Yeah, so you hop into the Black Iron Blades and there's your buddy Garn there. It's Garn the Hammer. And it's like, oh,
Garn, what a handsome name.
Oh,
and I try to just like flirt my way into some winter clothes for cheaper.
Sure. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for the host sausage. Appreciate you, dude. The hammer. Thank you, Zune. Appreciate you, dude.
Ooh.
9. I mean, you're already getting a 10% discount. I'm not really going to be able to go any lower than that. 9 gold is a great price for these.
Fine. And then I just give him 9 gold and I buy the winter clothes.
Please make the change to your character sheet. Alrighty, Vlora, what did you have in mind here, my friend? You seem like you had some ideas what you'd like to do.
Yeah, we spoke about a church last time.
Indeed. Yes, and it's the House of the Morning Lord.
I'd like to stop by that church on our way out. If the group comes along, that's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
I was interested in checking that church out.
Of course I'll come with you, buddy. And I stay real close to him.
I make sure she doesn't take anything from my pockets.
It's the House of the Morning Wood. Yes, of course. It is morning, after all. Sorry, I had to reload again. Roll20's just being a real jerk today. Alrighty, House of the Morning Lord. So that is up here on your maps for Bryn Shander. Yeah, it's located in the Northeast Market Square. It's so as you approach, you can see that it's like a modest kind of converted house. It looks like, yeah, it was just like kind of, at one point was maybe like a large, I don't want to say mansion, but large house that's been converted into a gathering place for worshipers. Yeah, so it's the doors are wide open. So if you wanted to walk in, you're welcome to do that.
I walk in and look for someone who looks like they're from the church, so clergy, a priest, anyone that looks like they know about the goings on at this church.
Yep. And so you walk in, and you actually do see someone up at the front of the church. It's a woman. She's wearing some. She's wearing like robes. Doesn't really look like a priest so much to you, but it's definitely like is like puttering around up near the up on the dais of the front of the church.
Hmm.
So you approach her.
I do. Excuse me, miss. I hate to bother you.
Yes, what can I do for
would,
you?
Would you happen to know if there's a temple to the Stormlord around here?
This is the only temple that I know of, and there is a temple in Dugan's Hole, but I don't believe it's. I'm sorry. There is a temple in Good Mead, but I don't believe
Okay.
it's in use anymore. This is the only religious house that I know of in all of Icewind Dale.
Have you ever heard of the Stormlord? And then I take out my amulet and show her this is his symbol.
She's like, I heard of him, yes, but to say I know much about the religion, I can't say no.
Okay. Any chance that you might have some holy water, holy oil that I might be able to purchase?
Oh, purchase? No. You can have, though. And she takes you over to like a little, right up there on the dais. There's like kind of a. I want to use the word bird bath. Shaped like you know what I'm talking about. You have the image in your head where there is holy water that she has blessed.
Okay.
Can I, in a really weird way, also beg for some holy water as if I super worship this church? Like, oh, thank you, miss. Like, I'll also take some holy water because I heard the word free. Clearly, it means something to Vlor.
Please,
So
may the Morning Lord bless you.
Oh, thank you so much, kind miss.
So I take 3 of my remaining vials and kind of dump them out and fill them with holy water and ask if she happens to have any holy oil.
I could perhaps bless some oil for you, but it's not something that I have readily available here. Tell me, why do you need these items? What danger are you in, my son?
No danger. Just in need. But that's okay. I'll take my other 2 vials and fill it with holy water.
Okay.
Stop them up.
And Cleo, do you get yourself some holy water as well then?
Oh, yeah.
Kindar and Jordy, what are you guys doing at this point?
I feel like Jordy's just keeping him to himself. I don't think Jordy's a very religious.
Smoking a cigarette outside?
Yeah.
Kindar's
like an obnoxiously large cigar. But it looks like normal size in his big hands.
Kindar's just kind of looking around the church and admiring the art, like type of artwork that's there.
Kindar, why don't you give me a perception check as you're checking out the church? Nine. Okay. Thanks.
Beautiful art.
Yes, you really like it. You're like, that's artwork. Anything else here at the church, guys? At the house of the Morning Lord, I should say.
Okay, cool. I was gonna ask what god they worship at this church.
That would be they worship the Morning Lord, also known as Amunator. Amunator is the god of the sun, the Morning Lord.
Okay.
Kindar would like to ask the person that you're just talking to if they know, and like if their god is the god of the sun in the morning, why haven't we had the morning? What's going on? Like what's their perception of what's going on right now?
Sure. And so the woman tells you, first of all, that her name is Mishan. And she runs the shrine, obviously. And she doesn't really have any theories beyond what the other townspeople, the theories that the townspeople have. Kindar, she tells you, if you inquire like a little bit further, that she is very much against the human sacrifices that are taking place. Bryn Shander is one of those places. And that she runs the shrine just in order to give people hope. And of course that the whole, that she, as everyone else, aspires to see the sun rise again, over the sky of Icewind Dale. But she doesn't have any other information beyond the conjecture of, Arl the Frostmaiden is punishing us in some way, or we don't know. We've lost the favor of the Morning Lord here in Icewind Dale.
So if the House of the Morning Lord is against the sacrifice, or sorry, the Church of is it the church or the house?
It's the House of the Morning Lord. It's basically a church.
Okay. If they're against the sacrifices, have they taken any steps to stop it, or like what have they done to try to put an end to that?
And she's like, I can't go against what the rulers of this town want. I can strongly voice my opposition. I can protest, as it were, but beyond that, I don't have any power in this town to stop what's happening. I'm but a simple priest.
And do the people of the town actually trust this church, or are they skeptical of it?
As you look around here, Kindar, and as you looked around earlier at this beautiful artwork, you can see that it's pretty sparsely attended. Right? There's not a whole bunch of worshipers here. It doesn't, it's kind of just in a house, more or less, right? That was converted perhaps into a church. You don't know how long that's been, but it doesn't look like there's a huge flock of people, and that might have something to do also just with the desperate situation in Icewind Dale right now. Maybe instead of people flocking to the religion, they're just saying, the Morning Lord's abandoned us, so screw him, right?
Okay.
As Zunda's done speaking to her, I'd grab her hand and say, "Don't worry. I'm sure there's a cleric coming to stop these human sacrifices." And I'd look her in the eyes.
And she's like, "From your mouth to Amunator's ears."
I look over at him and I mouth again, "Gusto." while he's schmoozing this lady.
And I give her a quick evil glance.
I can see this glance in my head.
I walk away.
Oh.
The job's done.
Spare it a little longer.
So, anything else we need at this church?
I don't think so.
Let's skedaddle then.
It is early in the day. You want to get out on the east way and start heading down? Is that the plan?
Down to the hole.
Heading down to Dugan's Hole.
Heading down to the hole.
Gonna have ourselves a time.
Alrighty.
And I'm still level 1 exhaustion, right?
No, I believe that last long rest, you cleared out the last bit of your exhaustion.
Okay.
So nobody is exhausted now. You all do have winter clothes, which is good.
Back up too. I'm ready.
So the trip from Bryn Shander to Good Mead down the east way takes about 6 hours. So I imagine after what you did at the church, going to pick up some clothes. This is the start of day 8, by the way. So you guys have officially been in Icewind Dale together as a group for a week now. So start of day 8, you take care of a little business in Bryn Shander and head out on the east way. And I would say probably by about 4 p.m., you start to roll up and make it into the town of Good Mead. For those keeping score at home, This is the 4th of the 10 towns that you've visited now. So you roll on in to Good Mead. That's the map of Good Mead. So Good Mead is located sort of in an evergreen forest, and so you can, as you sort of roll into town here, it's a little town. And as you head down from the east way, actually you headed south when you got to that 4-way intersection. It's really heavily wooded here. There's trees in the town. It's sort of built around that. You can see out onto the dock, just a single dock, and the water here is actually frozen over, so that there's not even any boats that would be able to leave out onto Red Waters, which is the little lake here. But even so, there's only one dock out that heads out onto the lake. And most of the other towns you've been to that have been on a lake have had multiple docks, lots of fishing activity. It looks like this doesn't look like that at all. You don't see that at all. And and as you head in here, as soon as you get to the very outskirts of the town, you can see up on the on the road itself some. Why does everybody give me a perception check? There's some wood and looks like maybe an overturned cart right outside of town. Good opportunity for everybody to get a quick roll in here.
First rolls of the night.
Kindar's still thinking about that artwork. He's like, wow, that church was
really good.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Gusto's
I'm surprised there weren't people there just to see it.
Jordy's like, this thing is pulling on my beard. But Cleo, so everybody else is kind of maybe lost in thought. You guys have been traveling for quite some time, but Cleo sees this for what it is, which looks to be some kind of a barricade. It's makeshift. Basically, you could walk around it. It's not going to impede you from getting into Good Mead, but looks to be some sort of a barricade.
All right, I turn to them and say, this looks to be like some kind of barricade. I have seen something like this before, but I think we'll have no problem getting in. And I just see if I can I push it? We go around it and just
you
in?
could basically just walk around
Okay.
it. It just looks like it was set up kind of haphazardly. That's why it was hard to tell what it was exactly, because there was a little barricade.
So essentially, it's a wall just sitting there.
Yeah, it's like there might be a place to fire an arrow through or something like that. Like I said, there's upturned
you gotta climb
carts.
into it.
Yeah, and there was some spikes in the ground, maybe pointed outwards. But you're able to easily pass by.
Okay.
And do we notice? Is there anybody inside of it? Does it look like there's anybody who's camping out?
Nobody behind it, nobody around really, and you're still kind of on the outskirts of town, let's say.
Shall we dive right in?
Well, let's see if they got some good meat.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Sounds like a plan to me.
So
some kind of popping bar here.
Start heading into town, and immediately, once you get into town, around here, the cutting wind of the tundra dissipates. All the trees here create a pocket almost of not heat. It's not a beautiful spring day or anything, but it's definitely not the cold, unforgiving tundra, the east way that you just the road that you just traveled on. It's Good Mead seems to be protected, and it's because basically the town is built in this forest, and so the trees are providing some shelter, some warmth, and as soon as you get to here, you hear a droning.
Is that? Let's follow it. Where is that coming from?
Give me a perception check, Cleo.
So you're saying we
Oh god, that almost hit a 1.
um, yeah, it's kind of seems to be coming from everywhere and nowhere all at once. You can't really tell. You're right about here.
Is there anyone like walking around this town?
Yeah, there's a few people just kind of going about their day.
Can I just like tap someone and be like, "Hey, what's that sound?" Just like, "Sup?"
Yeah,
What's that sound?
so you tap on the shoulder of like a young woman, and she's like, "What sound?"
The 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 buzzing sound. You don't hear
And
it?
she laughs immediately and goes, "Never been to Good Mead before, young lady?"
No, this is my first time. Where's a good place to go? Also,
Ah,
what is this sound?
you should head on down to the mead hall. I think both of those that answers both of your questions. And
Hmm, interesting.
she heads on. She like moves on about her day,
I say thank
It's
you
good to
super
me.
nicely.
and she pointed down towards this area here.
Should we go there?
George is like already going there.
As
As
soon
soon
as
as he heard that, he's already walking down the street.
anything weird about this town? The people acting odd, sluggish, just walking around aimlessly? Anything out of the ordinary?
Why don't you give me an insight check? Just kind of looking around, being really on edge, maybe still not really trusting Ten Towns completely. Nobody's like they're with a 22 is a good roll here. You sense some anxiety, Gusto. But as far as like what you specifically had looked for, head down, aimlessly wandering, no, you don't get that sense.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so yeah, Jordy, heading down to the mead hall here, and the buzzing just louder and louder and louder, and it's pretty clear that when you get outside of the front of the mead hall that buzzing is coming from there.
Georgie's very conflicted because he wants that mead, but he doesn't. He is not a fan of that noise coming out of there. He definitely waits for everyone else to get there first.
Just
I try to match pitch with it as I'm just singing along with it.
Yep, and you still hear it's super loud.
Man, we got to get
Secret behind
this
the mead.
sound to stop.
Let's
I
go
push my
inside
way
and ask what it
inside.
is.
Did I hear I push my way inside?
Yes.
Perfect.
God, I love those words.
Oh, we're not at Dugan's Hole. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on. All right, so you burst inside, Gusto, and you see something that you have never seen before. It's quite, really quite a marvelous sight. The mead hall is huge. Obviously, biggest, probably one of the biggest buildings you've seen since you've entered Ten Towns. It's 2 stories, and it's all one like large open space, basically. It is first thing you notice when you walk in here. It is very warm. Fires burn in like every corner of the mead hall. It is extremely warm. The droning, the buzzing, as Cleo correctly ascertained, is very loud in here. And as you look around this mead hall, Gusto, first of all, you see the huge tables set up. Um, huge dining table set up in the hall. And as you look up and around, you see a countless number of bees and beehives, as this giant indoor space acts as an apiary for bees. And you see people like, kind of bustling around, like getting into the hives, taking out the honey. You see huge vats near the back of the mead hall where they're taking the honey, making it into mead. It's all this bustling activity inside the mead hall, and you just hear this zzz of the bees, just millions. I mean, they're everywhere.
I'm picturing like a giant brewery with like a bunch of bees on top.
Yeah, like it's this huge open space. Like this is, for lack of a better word, it's almost just like a huge barn, because it's just this like huge area, and all of it like a huge area set up for bee husbandry, and then there's also a place where they're making the mead, and then there's also a place where people are drinking the mead, putting the mead into casks. Like you feel like the entire activity of the town is taking place within this building.
Assuming this is like their only way to make money and stuff, since the lake's frozen, so they just got bees from the forest, and this is like all they got.
Yeah, and so Jordy would probably know this, being a resident of 10 Towns, but he even sussed it out without me having to say anything, which is that several decades ago, with the competition on Red Waters being so tight with Dugan's Hall, Good Mead moved into mead production, and this town became sort of the mead capital of 10 Towns. This is how they make their living. They ship out mead to the rest of 10 Towns.
That's how they keep the towns warm. I
Does
would
it
definitely.
look? Oh no, keep
Or
going.
he like actually walks in, and as he's walking in, he's keeping an eye up at the bees, still a little leery, but he still wants some mead. So he goes in, tries to figure out like who he can buy some from.
And so as you're looking up, like maybe looking a little pensive, Jordy, a woman walks up to you, and she goes, "Quite a sight, isn't it?" Oh, we lost you, Jax.
He lost the words because of the bees.
You saw? Oh no, Jordy swallowed a bee.
He's drowned out by the bees right now.
Just hear increasing buzzing noise. I don't know what that was. That was weird.
Okay, so yeah, she's quite a
A
sight,
lantern
isn't
on
it?
the beard is making his jaw lock up.
Oh, we lost you again, Jax. I don't know what's happening there, dude. Nope.
Hello?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear you like when it's in your mouth, but like when it's far away like that, I can't hear you at all.
Maybe your sensitivity.
Hello? It was pretty. I thought it was. This is normal sensitivity as last time. That's weird.
Your mic has sounded different tonight than it has previously.
I did mess with the settings a little bit, but I didn't have issues before.
Okay, let me turn you
Sorry
up a
about
little bit. No, that's all right. You're really quiet now, but give me another.
Quieter somehow.
Give me just a quick mic check here, Jax. Say what you're gonna say to this woman.
Oh yeah, you could say that. I guess this is how the town got its name. Just still staring at the ceiling, at this like wall of insects.
I wouldn't worry your head about those bees if you're worried about getting stung. They're just going about their business just like we are. What can I do for you?
Interested to try the mead here.
Best
If
in all
that's
of 10 Towns. Best in all of Faerun, if you ask me.
That's a bold statement.
Well, you tell me yourself. She pulls you off like a little sampler, like a little thimble, hands it to you. It's
like,
really good.
Ooh. I'd have to agree with you.
Well met to you, adventurer.
I could get used to this place.
It's hard to leave Good Mead. This is the best place to live in 10 Towns, I think.
Then why the barricade out front of town?
And you ask her that, and she, like, it's as if you flipped a switch. Her face goes from one of, like, really proud of the mead, right, that she produced and gave to you, to just, like, really upset. And she's like, it's the Verbeek. The Verbi came here 3 days ago, and they killed our speaker. They took our mead, and I'm afraid that there's nothing to stop him from coming back. Kindar, why don't you give me a nature check, please? Cleo, why don't you do the same?
Cool. And there's a lot of people in here.
There's a lot of people here. It doesn't look like there's a lot of people just chilling. There's a lot of people working. So there's a lot of people putting honey into vats. There's good dudes up on huge ladders at the ceiling collecting honey from these hives. There's people putting it into the fermenters. There's people barreling it. All that stuff.
Or just knows the Latin name and its roots.
Yeah, so Kindar, you know that a Verbeeg is a type of giant. They are. It's sort of it looks like somebody got, caught halfway between transforming from a human into a giant. They look like oversized humans with gangly limbs, elongated faces, but they, they're big. They're very tall. And so she goes on talking to you, Jordy. She's like, we had just prepared three casks on the way to Bryn Shander when he attacked, and our speaker, he stood his ground, but he's no match for a Verbeeg. I mean, most of the speakers in these towns are retired adventurers. And unfortunately, he lost his life. We're trying to figure out who's going to be the new speaker. Some of the people want me to be the new speaker, but I'll be honest, it's not a job that I necessarily want. Our old speaker, sad to lose Kendrick. He was a good man. We, as you know, I mean, we rely on our mead. That's how we've gotten through. That's how we've made it. But those casks represented a month of our hard work. We'd be able to, if you like that mead, young dwarf, I could offer you a great deal of it, as well as lodging here in Good Mead, if you're able to recover our mead. You look like a strong man.
Do you have any idea why the half a giant decided to attack here, of all places?
Why, I can't say, but he made off with something valuable. I can only imagine that that's what his original attack was for.
Was anyone disappear shortly before this happened?
How do you mean?
Well, maybe this thing was someone from the town and something happened to them and they ran off, and that's why they know there's already mead here. Because it seems strange they would come here and just grab mead and include a speaker.
I mean, are you saying that perhaps someone in town was in on it? I mean, if that's the case, it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's not something that I'd know.
Maybe this thing was a citizen of the town at one point. And that's why he would let Kindor tune in, because he probably knows a lot more than he does about this thing.
Sorry, I lost what I was going to say for a sec. Keep going with what you're going to say. I'll come back.
Well, it seems like a very specific attack it did. It went in, killed the speaker, and took a cask. It seems like it knew who the speaker was and knew where the mead was. So maybe it was some kind of citizen. Curses or things as such I know aren't uncommon in this place, in Icewind Dale.
It could have been just good luck. We were loading it up about where you saw that barricade out front. We had loaded up the casks. It was leaving town. our speaker wasn't going to accompany the wagon all the way to Bryn Shander, but he was seeing it outside of town, and that's when the attack happened. If you're talking about a conspiracy, it's not something I know of. Perhaps the Verbeek was. Perhaps he was just going to take whatever he had, and just so happened to find one of our most valuable things that was leaving the town at that moment.
Do you think this is something that might happen again?
I'm afraid it is. Yes, we need to. As you can see, we're hurriedly trying to make new batches now, but without that money and the supplies that we could buy with that from our sale, this long winter is going to be even harder.
When's the earliest you'll have the next batch ready to go?
Weeks. It takes weeks to ferment and brew this.
You might have a decoy batch.
A decoy batch?
Maybe empty barrels that may have a little bit of fragrance to them.
Are you attempting to? You think you could draw them out of hiding? Is that your goal?
It's possible. If they attacked once and they know it's there, then maybe we can draw them out.
I suppose it is possible.
It is true. Going after it, we might end up finding something worse on the way there. So it's best if we try to take it out outside of town first, and then go try to find the cask.
I mean, I'd prefer certainly not to lure that thing back into Good Mead. Last time we did, we lost a good man.
Well, we would try to do it perhaps just further down the road away from the town. Because since it knows it got subsistence from here, it's probably going to come back to the general area. We'll just be a little bit further down the road.
Might also be able to. You might also be able to track him. It's only been several days.
Oh. That's recent.
That lantern thing, does that identify giants too?
No, only elementals.
So elementals.
Oh, and has it started glowing at all?
It has not.
Okay. Is it because we don't have any oil in it?
No, actually, if you remember from last time, there's no way to fill it. It's just like magic.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
So, are we saying that we want to go and try and find this giant, or?
Trying to convince Kindar that Gusto isn't all that bad. He says, I think that it might be a good idea to help these people out. It was pointed out to me that maybe I should have a bit more interest in people around other than myself. So it would be a good idea to maybe track this down and help these people. It might be hard for them to make it through.
Yeah, I think Kindar thinks it's a good idea to also try to help them out. But wonders, since we are so close to Dugan's Hole and that we do still have an issue of people trying to travel through Good Mead and everything. Is that something that we can kind of simultaneously tackle? Like, because maybe we don't know where this thing is. If we're going with the decoy route, trying to draw this thing out, then as long as we're hopefully in the vicinity, that we'll be able to draw them out.
Should befriend the giant wolves and then just have them fight the.
Ride them into battle.
Ride them into battle. Yeah.
Yes.
From the information Kindar overheard, does it sound like the wolves had intelligence above regular wolves?
It does.
Yes.
Okay. That's one possibility. I mean, we can. She just suggested that we might track the thing down because it's only been a day or so. Might be.
Yeah. While it still could be close, while the wolves are still kind of just hanging out.
Yeah, and that way we don't actually have to lure the beast into the town.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. at least to check out and see if we can find any tracks on the way, like for where we came in.
Are there any like little bottles of mead laying around since it's like a big factory? Or are they pretty protective of their products?
She's got some bottles behind the bar, and she's got like a tap behind the bar as well, but they're not just like out and about here. It's sort of like you're sort of at a long bar.
Is there a stage at this bar?
It doesn't look like it, no.
Lame. What a lame thing.
I'd ask to try some of the honey and some of the mead. Just a small amount.
And so, so she gives you like the little thimbleful. And she gives it all to you, actually. And she winks at Jordy as she gives you another little sample of the mead.
Ooh.
And then she's like, for the honey, you can head right up there yourself. She points to the ladder.
Jordy slaps Vor in the back. Oh, good luck with that.
Wait, there's a ladder that just goes right up to the honey?
Yeah.
Whoa, the hive.
Yeah, there's like a hive, and you can see people on top of all these like tall ladders, Cleo, and they're like gathering, getting into the honeycomb, gathering the honey.
That buzzing.
I don't like to fall off ladders, and being very, very careful, snap my fingers and begin to levitate.
What's everybody's reaction to this?
I want to climb the ladder. I'm going to look at him like, what the fuck? And then I'm going to climb the ladder up there to try to get him.
And how do you...
Kindar just goes wide-eyed and just like his head just kind of follows him as he goes up.
Would you always do that?
And how are you levitating up there, Gusto? Spell, I'm assuming.
It's an ability that I have once per day. I can use levitate.
How high can you get up? Just as far as you
I think it is up to 20 feet per round. I'm just making
20
sure.
feet's fine. Yeah, if you can get up there 20 feet. And so Cleo climbs the ladder. You basically, get up there at the same speed as Gusto does. And what do you guys do when you get up to the hives?
Do I have to pay for this? I'm gonna just try to sneak 2 jars, one of them full, and put in my pocket, and then put a little bit in the other one.
Okay, so give me a sleight of hand as you try to kind of hurriedly fill up a jar with this honey.
All right, I'm gonna add my plus 3 to this one.
Okay. Sleight of hand should actually be fairly good for you.
I'm making it certain.
And what are you doing, Gusto?
Just a finger.
Just try it. Super good, super sweet. It's warm.
Kindar yells up to Vor and says, "How is it?"
Can Jordy contest the sleight of hand with the perception? Because I feel like he would be a little suspicious because they were pretty kind to him when they came in.
I'm way up there. How can you see me?
It's 20 feet.
Yeah, I don't think so, Jordy. I don't think so. I think that you get it.
I use my hair to block the view. I'm just like my big curly purple hair.
So you're able to quickly get maybe a small jar filled with the honey out of one of the hives, and then you in plain view of everyone just put a few drops into another jar and bring it down.
I'd probably slice off a bit of the honeycomb, just a small amount to bring down for Kindar.
Okay.
Levitate
That's you levitating back down.
And then here, try it yourself.
Kindar licks it.
Did I mention that it's mine altering?
Can we get a mod to add that as a quote, please? Kindar licks it. That's
just as he starts to lick it, I say, "Did I mention that it's mind altering?"
It spits it out right in his face.
Just kidding. It's really delicious.
Don't worry about it, Book Fairy. It's fine. It just cracked me up the way you said it. Just like very matter of factly.
Kindar would like to inquire how much a jar of honey would cost.
Just the honey itself, it's not something we sell, very frequently. There's sometimes a call for honey in some of the other towns, and so we do export it a little bit. One of a full jar is probably about 10 silver pieces or so.
Yeah, 10 silver pieces. That's the most expensive honey I've ever seen. So, apply here.
Where else is there honey in 10 towns, my friend? If you can find a better price on honey in 10 towns,
Kindar points over to Jackson. Honey, right there.
Well, he does look sweet.
Oh my.
Gusto snickers at Kindar's question about the cost of the honey.
What's so funny, Vlor?
Nothing at all.
I want to show her my tiny little jar with the one drop and be like, how much for this? I want to make sure I'm giving you everything I can.
And she's like, oh, that's on the house, honey. Enjoy.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so kind. And I put it in my bag.
On the house, honey. I'd like some of that as well.
Well, too bad you can only levitate once a day.
Yeah.
That's a real shame. By the way, this character's name is Olivessa.
Olivessa. And does she own the mead hall, or is she just a manager, or?
She's the assistant to the assistant manager. If you ask her about that, Cleo, she kind of explains that this is sort of for the good of the town. So instead of think of this mead hall as sort of like the fishing docks in any other town, where there's not really an owner. It's really like this is where the town does its work. There's a few people who fish, or maybe did fish before the lake had frozen over in this eternal winter, but for the most part, this is where they make their living. She works here. She clearly has some stature in the mead hall. She's not just a grunt worker, but as far as owning it, no.
Okay. Is there any kind of potion shop in this town of Good Mead?
She laughs. She's like, boy, you'd really have to leave Icewind Dale before you're gonna find any magical components here. No, ma'am.
I give her a weird look and say, okay. Knowing that the lantern is in Doherty's beard.
All right.
Kindar would like to kind of nudge Vlor real quick and just say hey, you're gonna have to teach me that levitate trick sometime.
I'm sure. Sounds like a good old time.
All right, what's the plan here, guys? What are you thinking? You tossed around a few ideas of what you'd like to do next. It seems like Zund / Kindar is kind of maybe we're getting caught on another side quest here, right? We were already on our way to do one thing, and now we got this other thing. There was talk of trying to lure it out. There was talk of trying to track it down.
How far from Dugan's Hole are we?
That's a wonderful, wonderful question. You are from Good Mead to Dugan's Hole is a hop, skip, and a jump about 4 hours. You can get there by the end of the day.
Okay. Is it in the same direction that we think the giant's gonna be in?
You have really no idea what direction the giant's in now because you haven't investigated that at all.
But the original attack was kind of at the north side of town?
Yeah, the original attack was just outside of town, like up
Like
here,
where we came in.
right? Basically, where you came in, where you saw the overturned cart. Yes.
I'd
What do you guys
probably
want to do?
I'd probably refer to Jordy. He's probably got the better tracking skills because he knows the area. Do you think it'd be worthwhile to track this thing down before we head to Dugan's Hole?
I'm not the best tracker, not gonna lie. I haven't done much hunting. But hunting is what this half giant creature can't be easy. Because we have to find it, and then we have to fight it, most likely. Unless we could reason with it. I don't know if it's intelligent enough for us to reason with it. And then we also have to then go deal with intelligent wolves. So I'm not sure if we should try here or not. Maybe just see if we could look at the tracks, see if it's nearby. If it's not nearby, move on and then come back. Because you said it's been a few days since the last attack. The wolves have been a constant threat at the hole.
Dugan's. Yeah. Let's go there then.
Well, we should at least look to see if like the tracks are, at least look at the tracks. Because if it seems like it's close by, we could do that and still get down there. If it's not, then we should move on.
Let's go look at the
Okay. So you guys, as you guys head out of the meet, oh, sorry. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something before?
Yeah, quickly before we go, I'd ask her, what's this town's sacrifice?
And she just looks around and says, "You know how it's nice and warm here in the mead hall on those new moon nights. This is the only place in Good Mead that's warm at all. We put out all of our fires. We can't put out the fires here in the mead hall, or the bees would die. We'd lose our livelihood. But no heat, no fires. It's a long, cold night.
And you need that income to keep it burning?
To keep the
it
mead
warm?
hall running, to keep the people of Good Mead fed. We don't have the knucklehead trout. We don't have the catch money that comes in for the other towns. This is how we make our living."
Okay.
As you guys head out, Jordy, she kind of puts her hand on your shoulder, pulls you back from the group, and she's like, "You seem like you have a good head on your shoulders. Kendrick was a good man, and he didn't deserve what he got. The people of Good Mead don't deserve to starve because evil befell us. Avenge our speaker, and you'll never pay for mead here again." She hands you like a little bottle, a little cork stopper in it, "for a cold night. Take care." She heads back behind the bar.
I want to turn to all you guys and say, like, should we like check out this, like, where the speaker lived? Like, maybe there's a connection there. If the speaker died, maybe it was after the speaker, or maybe there's like a clue at his house to show like anything. I don't know. Just a thought.
Perhaps it does seem a bit strange that the one time the speaker decides to walk with the cart up there, that he's attacked by some beast. But then again, it could just be coincidence, but I do think we should look into it.
How do you feel about checking on tracks? How do you feel about like finding like where he like lived and maybe see if there's any clues over there too?
That sounds like a good idea.
Kinder?
Gindar thinks that the tracks are while the tracks are fresh, we should probably go straight there, and then we can always if that ends up being a dead end and we need to look in other places for hints, we can always come back and look.
I agree.
Plus, there's other things in this town that we might want to explore anyways, but this seems like a very pressing matter. And while the day is still young, we should.
Well, the day is still young. Because keeping in mind, it is dark. You know, it is dark, and that's why I have to keep. I constantly remind myself as well, because I keep forgetting. Like, it is always dark. Like, it is
It's
always
just like
nighttime, basically.
Some Aurora Borealis. That's about it.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
have
only
the
kind of light.
exactly. You have the like the northern lights, and that's about it.
Yeah, you tell us it's like the end of the day. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's strange. It feels like it was maybe the beginning of the day.
Yeah, it's when I've been keeping track of the days. That's been really hard for me, and I've been like really focusing on making sure that I understand as the DM what time of day it is, what day it is of your travel, and that sort of thing, because it's important. It's important. As you guys saw, just a peek behind the DM curtain. As you guys saw, you got back to Bryn Shander with the ingots without really getting sidetracked too much, and you were rewarded more than you would have been because you got back quickly and you finished that quest quickly. So that amount of that kind of stuff matters. Okay, so are you heading over to where the makeshift barricade was set up?
Yes.
Alrighty. So, why doesn't you guys are all kind of checking around there? Why doesn't everybody give me a survival check real quick? We'll see who gets it.
Can I give myself guidance?
Sure.
All right.
Okay, I was like, oh god, floor on your roll, but no, it's good actually. It's good. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not Cleo that is able to track this down. I bet your druid's better at that particular skill set.
She's a boss.
Yeah. It's actually gonna be So Jordy and Gusto, you guys both pretty easily. You can see now that you're looking at this place a little bit closer that was sign of a struggle. Here you can see like some drops of blood on the snow, and you do see, you do find tracks, and those tracks lead basically into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Jordy and say, so, are we heading into the woods?
Well, the woods in Icewind Dale aren't exactly a pleasant place, because we could find something just as bad in there.
Neither
But
is the tundra.
these people are relying on this cask. And it doesn't hurt to have friends in Icewind Dale. So not only would we be helping people, we would also have an ally. And you could have a business partner, since they make quite a bit of money off this mead. So I feel like we should at least try, since it's been relatively recent, to find this thing.
I definitely pass a quick glance over to Kendar, whether he notices or not.
Whether whether he notices like where the tracks are going.
No, whether Kendar notices if the glance over or not.
What are you glancing at him for? I don't quite get it either, Vlor.
I think it's because Vlor's trying to be like sure that he's good, but in reality he could just make more money by making friends with him.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
Trying to get an idea of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, trying to
appeal
to Kindar, because the last time we spoke about business ventures, he pretty much shut me down.
Yeah, I mean, Kindar kind of chimes in and says that at least we should try to see where this thing is camped out if we can. Like, if we have to dive too far into the woods and get lost, then things might get bad for us. But if we can at least see if we can find where this thing is, maybe that could give us a good jump on what's going on here, or at least like give us a game plan on how we're gonna get this mead back.
I agree.
Yeah, we should go in, try to leave like a little trail of our own if we go in.
Yes.
So you guys are heading into the woods?
Yeah. Do I have I want to just make little scraps of something. Like, what can we leave behind? Or just make marks on trees, maybe?
Maybe. Do you have any scraps left from the temporary winter clothes?
Yeah, do we have any scraps of that left?
You used a pretty decent amount of that to try to give yourself a marker for where the layer was on Kelvin's Cairn, if you remember.
Gotcha.
I think Jordy might, because I remember making a point that he wanted to keep his to like throw in the face of the salesman and
Yeah,
to
so
blow up the whole place.
absolutely. If I kind of remember that too. So,
Are there a lot of like rocks in these woods?
well, you're not near the woods. Yeah,
Oh.
you're still
we're
kind
still
of
there.
at the thing. Like you can see the tracks heading off in the woods, but you haven't really told me yet what you're doing. So if you're heading into
Yeah,
the woods, then I can
saying-
answer that question.
I think
just
as
wanted to
we,
make a plan first.
if we're going to follow the tracks, we can definitely shuffle our feet a bit so that the tracks are more pronounced, so that it'll be easier to find our way back. If that's what you're curious about.
I was gonna pull a real Colorado move and just stack rocks as we go along, so we know where we're going.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt either.
And just mark trees.
Yeah, Kindar says he'll take his knife and just kind of put an X on trees as we pass them.
Perfect.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Okay, so you're heading into the woods?
Into the woods.
Cool. So you're, you get basically to the edge of the woods, and you hear like a crunch, 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 crunch. It's louder and louder and louder. It's clear. It becomes clearer to you that there's somebody running in your direction, and he suddenly comes into view. A figure in cold weather clothing lurches out of the woods into plain view, running as fast as he can through the deep snow. Slung over his back. Sorry, go ahead.
If Jordy would probably like try to shout and be like, "Oh, hold on there."
He looks to be running towards you.
Okay.
Slung over his back are a pair of animal traps, of one of which appears to contain a panicked fox. So he's like, runs up and says, "Oh God, oh God, all of them are dead."
All of who?
Our militia as it is. 5 of them. Dead out there in the woods, their skulls and chest caved in. Dead right there in the woods.
Did you
Who
go after
killed
the
him?
beast?
Who are you?
Did you go after what killed the speaker?
And he's starting to catch his breath a little bit. My name's Fef. I was just out in the woods checking my traps. He kind of gestures to the fox, who's like, "Boo," over his shoulder. And he's like, and I came across the bodies. I don't know how long they've been gone, but they went out to see if they could find the Verbeeg that killed the speaker. It looks like he did the same thing to them.
Tell us exactly where they are.
You can follow my tracks. Easy enough. There's no fucking way I'm going back out there.
Alright, go back in town. Let them know what happened. Try to, I guess, maybe rally anyone that can fight in case things go worse. Because that thing's obviously pissed now. But we're going to go try to handle it. But it may try to come to town. Left the track back here.
You don't have to tell me twice. And he just like pushes past you and is like looking over his shoulder as he runs back toward Good Mead.
Well, guess we found it.
Yeah, so as Fef said, his trail is actually pretty easy to follow. He wasn't trying to hide his tracks or anything, and he just was booking it through the woods. It takes you about, you follow his tracks for about 30 minutes or so. Deep in the woods, amid the snow-covered pines, you discover the remains of 5 militia members who look like they were clubbed to death. New fallen snow has already begun to settle on the corpses.
Can we check to see how long they've been dead?
Yeah, why don't you give me a medicine check?
Do they have anything good on them that I can take?
Let's resolve this check, and then I will let you know, Cleo. 15. They look like they've been dead for about between 8 and 12 hours. Gusto. And as far as stuff goes, they don't see any weapons at all, Cleo. You don't see any weapons near them or around them at all, which kind of you surmise that whoever killed them might have taken the weapons. And it looks like their bodies have also been sort of cleared of any valuables as well. So it looks like somebody killed them and then looted them.
Oh. In like a really fake, sad way, I go, oh no.
Oh no, these guys. Oh, they're dead. Oh god.
Do you see any Verbeeg tracks or anything? Any signs of Verbeeg in the general vicinity?
You give me a survival check there, Kindar. Putzbert, thank you so much for that gift sub. Wow, that went to Negamir. What a great gift sub. It's 29 months for Negamir, Putzbert. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you.
I think my die is broken today.
I think it is too. Speaking of Negamir, we're really going to have to bring it up with him. Now you take a look
Got
around.
20 on that Vorbeek, though.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. You did roll a natty 20 to know what a Verbeek was. Putzbert, thanks so much, dude, for the gift sub. No, that's the best possible gift sub out there for sure. I think. Yeah, don't see any tracks around here, Kindar. Not with a 3.
So does Jordy also notice that like these people have just been like looted after
I think
Silo
that
went through it?
Cleo probably points that out, even though she was looking for a different reason. She says, they don't have anything on them. Yeah. Yeah, you
kind of sound so innocent.
Go ahead and roll in the Discord, Putzbert, and we will dole it out.
Good job, Cleo. Nice perception on that.
I wanted to make sure they were okay, and I just noticed they had nothing on them, and just you were wondering for some reason.
Everyone just looks at like their caved in skulls. Just like
it's possible that it's more than just the beast.
I think Jordy wanted to ask like Kindor, be like, do you know anything about this Vorbeek? Could it possibly be a person that turned into it? Because this seems a bit strange that it's been looted.
What if it was the speaker?
I think they told the speaker to get taken.
Yeah, it does seem awfully strange that they would be looting. That it's not just that they're trying to kill them for food and sustenance.
So just to clear something up, Jackson, so that I don't make it, I don't want to hammer on the point, just to clear it up. A Verbeeg is a giant. It just looks like, as I was trying to describe what it looks like a human. It was transforming into a giant and made it about halfway. And that's not the reality of what it actually is. I was just trying to describe like the best way to look at it, and it'd be like taking you and then like having some giant features on it, stretching you out. You got a long face, big long arms, but that's not. It wasn't like some magic that like happened. It's a species.
I thought someone maybe like turned into it.
But yeah, does anybody else want to? I mean, you guys can. I'll let one more person take a look around for tracks.
I definitely like to take a look with guidance.
Okay, that'll be a survival check, please.
Okay.
Can I inspire? Or is it too late
now? Yeah, you can use a bardic inspiration.
I look at him and I'm like, "You can do it," and then I mouth goose.
This may be my favorite piece of lore now in the entire game. It's so great that Cleo knows this and nobody else does.
Is that... Oh, GH. Is that a D6?
Yes, it's a D6.
Wow. +8 on that.
All right. Well, let's get a good survival check out here then.
So that's 8 plus 3, 11.
Oh my god.
I felt it. I felt it happening in the
So
bone.
I have some
that
good news.
hurt.
I have some good news. There is no critical failure on a skill check, and the skill check to find the tracks was a DC 12 survival check.
Oh. Thank you.
So I
you,
almost feel
Leo.
like at this, I almost feel like, yeah, without that inspiration, it wouldn't have happened. And actually, Sunflower, I'm gonna give you a inspiration yourself. So mark an inspiration on your character sheet. It's an advantage roll that you get on a D20 roll. So well done, because without that, you guys wouldn't have found this. I almost feel like Gusto, you just like. You're looking around, you don't see anything, you slip on some ice, and you fall down into like a Verbeek track. And you're like, oh, it's right over here, everyone.
I feel like maybe Cleo tripped me and I fell into the track.
And let it be so. Let it be so.
Do you just internalize that? Do you just like internally think that I tripped you? Do you say something to me?
Yeah, just internal. Probably give a look like it was you, wasn't it?
But
and
yeah,
I'm
you
just
do
looking
find
at
the
you
track.
like I know things.
You do find some tracks in the woods there, Gusto, and you are free to follow them.
Oh, look, it's right here.
Wow, I'm so stupid. How did I not see that before?
Oh. Jordy,
Alright.
lead the way.
Off you go.
Behind you, Jordy.
I want to look at the lantern real quick, make sure it's not glowing.
Take a look at the lantern, and it is not glowing.
Okay. I'm a little concerned now, considering these bodies were also looted. Do you think it's just going to be a Verbeek that we're going to be running into?
Not sure, but it's been less than half a day. So they must be pretty close.
This is maybe our best and only chance, I guess. Jordy sighs because he knows he has to be the one to lead the way.
Maybe when we get close, I can like open up my jar of and like see if it lures them in.
I mean, that's actually a decent idea.
So you follow these tracks, fairly easy to follow, for about 6 hours. Travel deeper into the woods. And eventually you come to sort of where the woods end, and you see the opening of a cave mouth. Let's go to the map. Let's just go to the map. What's the worst that could happen? So the woods end kind of abruptly at a small hill kind of thing. And you see the opening of a cave mouth.
Cave mouth.
Kindar would like to explore the face on the bottom right of the map.
You're like, wait a minute. This face looks familiar.
Have we been marking trees along the way too?
Yes, Kindar specifically said that he was doing that, so you're able
Cool.
to pretty easily follow your way back if you need to.
Okay, just making sure.
Mm-hmm.
Should we like maybe spread some of the mead like on a tree, or like maybe I want to like, should we lure it out or should we go in?
I don't know if we'd be able to lure this thing out.
So let's go on in.
Yeah, it does seem like it's somewhat intelligent.
Okay. I mean, maybe worst situation, I can like give him the mead for not murdering us. And sing him a tune.
The whole point is to get the cast back, though.
Can we see if there's any other
it's in there.
tracks around the cave, like other than the Verbeeg? Like, does it seem like there's anything else with it?
Yeah, great question. Give me a survival check. Redeem yourself on this survival check, Kindar.
Can I give him guidance?
Sure. How many guidance? How many do you get a day?
Infinite. It's a
Well,
cantrip.
It's a cantrip.
Fuck that.
That's a plus a D4 on your roll.
Okay. You said survival.
Yes, it's a survival check. And is that with the D4?
Yeah, that's including.
You
Did
gotta
you
roll.
just put?
Well, you gotta roll the
or-
D4.
Yeah, you gotta roll a D4.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I added 4 to my roll.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh,
I was a little confused. I'm
All
like,
right, roll the
what?
D4 and then roll it again with the new amount. Unless you roll a 4 here, in which I'll just give it to you. Oh, you did! Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, you do see another set of tracks, and you ascertain that those tracks belong to an ogre.
Ooh.
So I informed the group that it seems like there's ogre tracks here.
Nice, another big, ugly beast. Nice, perfect.
Jordy's like, just great. Great, great, great.
Another big thing to hit me in the face. Nice.
What do you know of ogres, Jordy?
What do you know? Oh.
You can give me
I've-
just a nature check, Jordy, if you want. I know it's not your best skill, but...
Oh, nature is intellect. That was wisdom.
Just straight up D20, huh? Let's see what she wrote.
Yeah, baseline intellect.
They're big, they're ugly, and they're stupid. That's what you know about ogres.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Well, that's important. All right.
What do you guys think we should do?
Well, we can't just leave all that treasure there, can we?
The ogre is stupid. Maybe we could try to lure the ogre out. Maybe.
Maybe you could sing it a song.
Can I serenade it out?
Maybe
You can do whatever you
loud yodeling.
Maybe
Maybe.
Smash Mouth. The lure
Yeah, I
out
was gonna
ogre.
say I'm a believer.
I know the perfect song. All right, so y'all around me. I'm like in front of this cave mouth. Is that where I should do it?
Yes.
Okay.
If that's what you're gonna do, I would like to get on one of the sides of the mouth, kind of hiding.
Okay, everybody can kind of set up where you'd like to be. While you're preparing that sunflower, you see when you get up there, half submerged in the icy mire are the bones, skull, and tusks of a long dead mammoth.
Is that ivory?
No, just bone. The tusks are ivory, though.
They we could take the taste.
Yeah, it would take some time.
That's a lot of tusk.
Damn.
Because they're huge, right? Exactly right. But yeah, you could definitely probably chip off some ivory there. It would take some time. It'd be noisy.
Okay.
But I mean, you are about to sing.
Jordy carry it.
Jordy's carrying an entire mammoth skeleton. This sucks.
We've got a Jordy. Okay.
All right, so you're hiding. Where's Jordy and Kindar in this?
They're hiding up here behind the tree.
Behind the tree. Okay, so
I decided to mark some trees there, and so that's why I ended up there.
Can I see Gusto and everyone from where I am though? Or
From where you
Laura
are
and
right now?
everyone?
Is that where you're going to sing from, or you said you were going to move up to the cave?
Like maybe like.
Am I? Is that what I should? That's what I'm asking you guys. Is that what I should do? I don't want to be too far from you guys.
Yeah, you should
Yeah,
move
that's what
up
I figured.
like
I
here
figured
or
we would
here.
set up on like either side, and you'd
So
be
there's
like,
the mouth. So I'd be like right here. Where's the mouth?
Like
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so stand on the tusk essentially.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a little
So,
stage.
I'm gonna look over at Floor and say, "This one's for you." And really loudly, I start singing "That's Not My Name" by the Ting Tings, but I start singing it like, "They call me Jordy, they call me Kindar, They call me Gusto. That's not my name. That's not your name. And I just start really loudly singing that and dancing as I'm like repeating his name. But I keep saying Gusto over and over while glaring over at him.
I remember like who's Gusto? Like over the Kindor.
Yeah. I look over at Jordy and I actually mouth like Gusto? Like what?
And I just keep singing that and dancing around and like strumming on my the thing I can never pronounce what it is that I use. A
Sitar?
Yes, that. And I'm just gonna do that and sing, and hopefully it comes out.
So you do that, and there's like seems like time stands still for a second. It's just like silence, and then you hear everybody. And then out from the shadows of the cave steps a giant ogre, and he just looks at you, grabs his club from his side, and charges. Everybody, roll for initiative.
I don't have like a I can't react to it.
Do the ones that are hiding get a surprise round on them?
I think we'd have to do stealth.
I think that's kind of the reason why we were hiding, right?
Why you were hiding? Yeah, no.
I wanted to pull out my honey and be like, a present?
You can try it on your turn. Roll high on your initiative roll.
Can probably see all of us because it's tall as shit. Now that I think about it. Like me and Kindor, like under the ogres, just looks over the bush, just like, what are you doing?
If you had readied an action or something, Laura, I might have given it to you, but you were just kind of standing there.
Well, y'all were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, you should have said it. You should have spoken up.
Right. He said he's going to hide.
He's hiding.
Laura doesn't get inspiration anymore, does he? No, he already.
No, but you do have an inspiration, Sunflower. Remember that.
I do have an inspiration. I'm gonna save it.
Yeah, save it.
I gotta change the battery on my headset, so I'm gonna be deaf for a sec.
No worries. Looks like Kindar might. Well, let's see.
So this is the point where Kindar dies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, he dies. Oh,
I can hear again.
Oh. So he didn't die just now.
Not yet.
All right.
He was deafened by the ogre's trampling.
All right, so it is Jordy, Kindar, Gusto, Cleo. Okay, beginning of round 1. And it is Jordy's turn first. Jordy, you're up. What would you like to do? This ogre is closing the distance on Cleo.
First, Jordy rages. He throws back his little flavor cloak that's like really heavy for no reason and makes a thud when he throws it back.
Okay. And you're raging?
He's angry. And he moves up and he rolls to bonk him. Well, I guess it's more like try to kneecap him with his maul.
Okay. First attack roll in a while here, guys. I feel like, boy, we haven't had a good old-fashioned combat in a while. 17 will hit, my friend.
That was my initiative.
That was your initiative. That's why we need those character sheets. Those are coming soon, by the way. Maybe a month or so. Uh, 12 hits anyway, so well done. Roll your damage. Yeah, you just clip him in the side of the kneecap here. He howls. Whoo, that's not nothing, my friend.
That was almost max damage.
All right. 17 points of damage. My goodness. All right, Kindar, round 1, you are up.
All right. Are we saying that he's visible from where I am?
Or no? Yeah, he's tall. Okay. He's 10 feet tall, basically.
Okay, so Kindar would like to attempt to cast Hallucinate on him.
Oh, okay. Tell me about Hallucinate.
You choose a creature you can see within range, make them see a sound. or an image that lasts for the
Wow.
duration.
In there.
That would be pretty tricky.
Seeing sounds. This thing is crazy. And the target sees an image or hears a sound. The effect cannot deal damage and cannot occupy a space larger than 5 foot cube. The target must make a charisma save against your spell save DC.
Okay, I'll tell you right now, his charisma's real bad. Tell me what the hallucination is. You control that, I believe.
Yeah, so I basically want him to keep hearing the song that Cleo is singing, like that's not mine, like, and just kind of like as if it's coming from back inside the cave.
Gotcha. Okay. Charisma saving throw absolutely failed. So he is now hallucinating that there's music coming from here. And he's super confused. So I'm just going to say that he's going to have disadvantage on his attack roll. I know that's probably not written into the spell, but that makes sense to me. He's confused. He doesn't know what's happening. There's something coming from inside the cave now.
This guy's kneecap bashed by some small man thing.
Yeah, he just came out of the woods
that
and
don't have a bush.
Okay, Kindar, cool turn. Anything else? Any movement? Anything else?
He's just gonna kind of move over here, getting a little bit better positioning.
Okay. Let me switch this. Move this. There. Okay. Alrighty, Gusto, you are up.
All right. I will jump up out of the bush, grab onto my amulet, and kind of hold it out, and reach out my hand and cast Guiding Bolt.
All right. Is that a save on my part, or you roll to hit?
That's a roll to hit, and
right.
I will use the +5 that I got from Putspurt.
Whew, that's spicy.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
+10. Yeah, 20 is going to hit. Roll your damage.
That is 4d6 radiant.
Oh my god. It's like dragon breath weapon. We're getting close.
It's a level 1 spell right there.
Oh my god.
My favorite spell on Yorkson.
15 points of damage. All right.
Plus the next. Let me make sure it's melee. The next attack roll against the target has advantage.
I think he's like glowing or something.
Get a little glittering.
Right, because you hit him with this bolt, and he's like glowing with this electric energy, radiant energy, so he's easier to hit.
Yep.
All right, Gusto. Anything else?
No. I think I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
All right, Cleo, you are up. It is closing the distance and is, he's staring you down. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'm going to attack him with my dagger.
Okay.
So D20 to hit, right?
Yeah, plus your whatever your
+5.
With advantage.
True. So you'll roll the same roll twice here, Sunflower.
Okay.
And I want to really just thank you so much for getting "That's Not My Name" stuck in my head.
You're so welcome.
That's not my name. 16 hits. Roll your damage. I imagine you bring this down and stab him right in the toe, like under the toenail. Just right.
Am I allowed to add to any of my rolls for damage?
No, only for the extra stuff that you have is only for a D20.
For sure.
Otherwise, you could just... It'd be funny if you just saved him up the entire campaign. You're like, oh, I hit the boss? Alrighty, well, I have 400 here, fish suit. The boss is now dead.
And then bonus action, can I inspire Jordy?
Yep. Give him a little bardic inspiration. How many of those do you get a day?
I get 4.
4, alright. So you have 2 left after this. Just keep that in mind. Alrighty, it is this guy's turn, and he brings up his great club and takes a swing at you, Cleo. This is with disadvantage because he's hearing this Song behind him, he's very confused. He's very hurt.
Even her behind him.
Oh, it's such a shame. I rolled a natural 20, but the other one was an 18, so that's going to be a 24 to hit. Hits you with his great club, Cleo. Not something you want to be hit by. Of the things that you want to be hit by, a giant's great club is not one of them.
Maybe an average club would be good, but a great club.
You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as this ogre brings the great club down right
How do I
on
adjust my thing in chat again?
just exclamation HP minus 11. Cluck. Ready. Beginning of round 2, Jordy, you're up.
I'm gonna roll that Bardic Inspiration.
All right, it's a D6.
Dreaded D6.
Gamer Heroine was wishing that she'd made a better bard.
Now I'm gonna roll to bonk him again.
All right, another attack with your maul. $17 hits. Imagine Jordy hits him on one side of the knee and then like spins around and hits him on the other side of the same knee.
He's battering this man's ACL. He's never going to be able to play ball again.
Oh no. He was going to go pro, but not anymore. 15 points of damage. All right. Oops. Wow. All right. You guys are putting a hurting on this guy. He's looking in rough shape. Jordy, any movement? No?
I'll move just like a little bit closer to Cleo.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay, Kindar, what would you like to do here, my friend?
I have a question. So I have the spell command, and it's you speak a one-word command. Is a hyphenated word technically one word, or is that 2 words?
Tell me what you want him to do.
Self-flagellate.
No.
That would be 2 words.
I appreciate the attempt.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wouldn't damage itself.
Probably doesn't know what flagellate means.
True. Okay, so then still would like to use command.
Okay.
And to try to get him to drop the club, so you'd say drop. And what does he have to do? He has to make a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn.
Okay.
And if he's undead, it has no effect.
He's not undead. Failed. So your booming voice enters his head, and you just say what? Drop.
Drop.
Okay. Alrighty, Gusto, you are up.
It attacked Cleo on the last turn.
Yeah.
I would bring out my mace and just run up there and bash his other knee.
Okay.
With the club, or with the mace, I mean. And let's roll.
Nine unfortunately misses. You swing and a miss. Your mace goes into the freshly fallen snow next to his foot.
I will still stand there with my shield kind of raised up.
You want to move your character up to where you're gonna be?
Yep. Boom.
Alrighty. Anything else?
Seeing if I can kind of shelter Cleo a little bit.
Okay. Okay, Cleo, it's your turn. You just took some massive damage from this great club. Your friends now surround you. What would you like to do?
Bro. I only have 6 left. I'm debating moving back. But you said he's he's really, really, really hurt.
Yeah, he's not looking good.
Okay.
You guys have dealt some pretty significant damage to him at this point.
I'm gonna move back just a little bit.
You move away from me, you'll take an attack of opportunity.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm just gonna use my dagger again.
He's dropping his club on his next turn.
Okay, yeah, I'm
his
gonna use my dagger.
Might drop his
Again.
pants.
So I'm
What have I
gonna use
done?
my dagger and
Okay.
stab him in the knee again.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna use my other +1 that I had left over from when that Zune got me.
Alrighty. Drops a beat. Oh, I'm sorry. A 9 misses. You reach out. You're so hurt. It's like I can imagine that there's like blood running down your forehead. You know, it's just like blinding you almost, and you miss trying to stab this guy. And it is now his turn. First thing he does is drop his great club to the ground. It clinks to the ground next to him. Now, the command just happens, right? It's not like I don't miss the rest of my turn because of this. It's just whatever happens.
It just says the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn.
Okay, so he followed the command. And he kind of like looks down, confused. Sorry, Vlar, what looks like you're going to say something.
Yeah, I was muted. Sorry. As far as I know, command, it follows the command and then ends its turn.
Oh, yeah. So in a different one, it says like for example, if you use grovel, the target falls prone and then ends its turn. If you say halt, the target doesn't move and takes no actions.
For drop, the target drops whatever it is holding and ends its turn.
Okay. So it confusedly like doesn't know why it's doing it. It drops the club to its side, and suddenly like what was anger now looks like fear in his face. And we'll go to the beginning of round 3, which is now Jordy's turn.
All right, I'm gonna use a 3 that I've had in my back pocket since session 1.
Okay.
Since we only had 2 combats. From a Sassy.
Oh, Sassy Wolf.
So my head.
15 hits. For another 10 points of damage. All right, this guy is in very, very rough shape now. But he's still standing. Anything else here, Jordy?
Nope. I'll just keep standing there by Cleo since she's injured.
Alrighty, Kindar, you're up.
How much does his club weigh?
That's a really great question. I have no idea. I'm gonna say it weighs 30 pounds.
All right, so I will. Kindar will use psychokinesis.
Okay.
Which is a cantrip where he can use the spell just to lift objects. You can lift up to 30 pounds worth of objects and move them at will within range.
Okay. Did I say 30? I meant 31. Yeah. I'm just kidding. All right, so you're gonna like try to kill him with his own club here?
No, I if it was 10 pounds, I could use it to attack him. But I'm just going to use it to. I'm going to move it basically right behind me.
Okay, so you just so you guys all see just his club look like it stands up and then just like drags through the snow back here towards Kindar.
Yeah, and my eyes kind of just track it the whole way. Like you can't see me like grasping at my chest and then one hand kind of on my head as I'm watching it go.
I love that visual. Alrighty, Gusto, you're up. Oh, I'm sorry, Kindar. Any movement?
I think he's gonna move just in case this thing like is more attached to his club than he is to trying to anything else. Kindar's gonna back up a little bit to get ready in case he picks up the club there, but isn't in range of an attack.
Okay. All right, Gusto, you're up. You're up in its grill.
All right. I will swing at it with the mace again.
All right. $12 hits.
And
12
I
hits.
will go ahead and use my Channel Divinity Destructive Wrath, which allows me to deal maximum damage. Oh, nope, that's something else.
Yeah, I think it's for thunder or lightning.
Yeah.
Damage.
Yep. Never mind.
All right, roll your damage.
I do that.
All right, tell me what it looks like when you kill this thing, Gusto.
So I'm sure that when Jordy hit it, it kind of went down on one knee. So I would bounce off of its knee and just swing that mace right at its head, just snapping its neck and having it fall over.
Yeah, you just crush its skull and it just falls dead in front of you. And you have successfully killed the ogre. You are out of combat. And we've come to the end of the first half of our session tonight. So,
God, let's kill his head. Let's take his head and just decapitate him.
Sunflower's just like, oh, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
So you guys will see you back here in 15 minutes or so. Enjoy your break. Thank you so much. And we'll see you back here shortly.